Hey, John, we are answering a really important question today. How much cash should I have on hand in retirement? An emergency fund is always important, and considering how volatile the markets have been recently, we're going to outline precisely how much cash we should have on hand right now. So, what is the general rule of thumb when we are first establishing that emergency fund?
Right. So the general rule of thumb over the last, decade has been about 6 months in expenses. However, looking and I'm always on blogs, both retiree blogs to see what they're saying to each other and financial planning mastermind blogs. The rule of thumb now is becoming 2 years worth of cash,
Wow.
because of the market conditions.
hmm And just to underscore the obvious, though, cash is important so that we are not dipping into our retirement savings to cover living expenses.
Yes, yes. So the reason why we have the cash and why a lot of advisors on these blogs are saying now 2 years is because obviously there's recession concerns and you don't want to sell in a down market to take a distribution. You much rather pull from your cash reserves to do that.
hmm So I think that begs the next question then. Should we have more cash on hand when the markets are volatile?
Yeah, well, that really depends on how you're set up because as you'd mentioned, the sequence of returns risk,
hmm
that is a serious problem for today's retiree. And what sequence of returns risk is you can have two portfolios side by side, as we have in the example here. And one experiences losses in the first 5 years, coupled with having to take money from those losses. So you need losses plus withdrawals. That's the equation. Now, these two portfolios over a 15-year period have the same exact returns, except for the fact that the first client, their returns are on years 10 through 15, whereas the second client, their returns, their negative losses are in the first 5 years. And you can see that just by flip-flopping that, when coupled with distributions, it's a snowball effect that is absolutely devastating to retirees. And you can see a $70,000 difference
Yeah,
there.
right.
Just because investor A didn't lose money in those first 10 years, he ends up with $5,000 more than he began with, whereas investor B is down 65,000. And it's like I tell people, you can't control the markets. You have
Right,
to try to navigate the markets through your plan.
right.
And two of the most basic elements to how successful your investing are timing and luck.
Right, right. But the other part of it is working with you. And I know that you have the shield strategy, which is prepared for these market eventualities, right, John? What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So yeah, again, that cash reserve, a lot of people are pumping 2 years worth of money in there. In our case, this is meant for an emergency expense or if they're retiring, any expenses that we may have in the next 0 to 12 months, we want to just have some cash on hand and we just do some simple arithmetic. Listen, you're gonna need $40,000 within the next 12 months, and you're gonna do a $60,000 remodel that you're not gonna finance. All right, well, we need $100,000, and then what's your magic number for an emergency fund? And that's really a question psychologically that people, what is going to make you feel comfortable that this money's in the bank no matter what happens with the market. We understand we're going to sacrifice rates of return, but you have the peace of mind that you can go to the bank and the very next day and take that money out if
hmm
needed. But
hmm
for a lot of people that are living off their assets, the cash reserve bucket becomes vitally important now because this is where they're going to have to pull their money from.
hmm
With our shield strategy, we believe in the retirement management, the course that we took, in income flooring, and that is making sure that no matter what the markets do, our clients have the peace of mind of knowing that they have a predictable and sustainable income stream. So in our cases, the cash reserves are basically just that. They're an emergency fund.
hmm Because that second shield there is the income shield. So
Yeah.
this is an income stream that's not relying on markets.
Correct. And that's the big thing is it's predictable, it's sustainable, it's not flashy. There's no excitement to this, but we give our money jobs in retirement. And the income stream, we have allotted that amount of money specifically designed to pay you an income throughout, no matter what the markets are throwing at you.
All right. Well, John, this was really helpful. I think that a lot of people are going to look at this and wonder if they are allocated in the right spots right now, especially because inflation is running so hot. So your income bucket kind of makes people feel a little bit better, right? Because if you're just keeping cash in the mattress right now, you're losing buying power.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, I don't solicit on them. I don't even give my advice on them, but I read retiree blogs just for my own research to really find what is out there and what is bothering today's retiree. And you're hearing a lot of panic over the market, right? These people were
Right.
talking about how great their investments were in 2019 and 2021. They're not talking like that now. And a lot of people are saying, we got to go to cash. We got to go to cash, which we know is a flawed strategy. That's market timing. But the fact of the matter is, if you've have this defined plan, you understand that, like in our case, our income bucket is designed to keep up with normal inflation. We're a little bit beyond normal right now, but either way, we have inflation hedges built in to our income buckets where, a lot of people who don't have that peace of mind, they're now kind of caught in a rock and a hard place because, what used to be the rule of thumb, maybe 6 to 12 months of expenses as an emergency fund is now 2 years. So now you've doubled the amount of money. If you went from 12 to 24 months, that has to be in that cash reserves, that you're lucky if you're going to earn a lollipop in interest every quarter, and you're losing that to now close to double-digit inflation. So it's really, as Mark DiOrio told us at an advanced investment conference in March, this is really a point in time that today's modern advisor with decades of experience hasn't had to deal with, right? We haven't had to deal with market highs now coming down into a recessionary level. We haven't had to deal with zero interest rates, which have been great for a long time, but now we're in a rising interest rate environment, and then couple that with near double-digit inflation. It's a tough pill to swallow right now.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot to balance right now. So if somebody has questions, John, and they would like to talk this through with you, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can reach us two ways. Give us a call at the office, 858-935-6210, or visit our website, www.gosecurus.com. And under the Contact Us tab, you can pull up our calendar. And from either location, you can schedule a 15-minute phone call, and we'll answer any questions you may have, or a 90-minute complimentary consultation.
All right, that's great. John, thank you.
Thank you, Erin.